mean, she, to be honest with you, man, she's a
Bad things, fine as hell, thick as fuck, oh my god, that's my baby, Caroline.
Sheesh. I know y'all see how flat this install is. Like, this is my flattest install yet. If only my stomach could be just as flat. Auntie, please, can you focus? I'm sorry, guys. Okay, back to what you guys are actually here for. Hello, everyone. What's good? What's poppin'? It's your girl, Caroline, back again with another wig tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to be working with this brown closure unit from Asteria Hair Company. She was 24 inches, medium cap, and 180% density. Full disclosure, this is how the wig was looking right out of the box, placed on my head. And color was cute and all, but it definitely was going to need some customization. Because one thing about me, I want my wigs to give it natural as possible, okay? Enough of the chit chat, let's get right into it. The first thing I did for customization was I went ahead and bleached the knots on this unit. If you've been watching me for a while, you probably are like, Caroline, this wig is dyed brown. Why are you bleaching the knots? I thought you said you only bleach knots on your black wigs. True, but for this look, I really wanted to give it natural as possible. And to achieve that look, I had to bleach those brown knots to give it more of a coming out of your scalp look. But definitely you don't have to do this step if the hair is brown or any other color. If you're new here and you're like, babes, what's going on? It's okay, I got you. I do have lots of detailed tutorials explaining how I bleach my wigs and the in-depth process on that. But I really wanted to focus mainly on how I get my wigs super flat. And I've been doing a lot of these detailed bleaching, plucking tutorials, and saying the same thing gets so repetitive. So I'm just gonna skip past this part and, get to the good juicy bits. But do make sure you watch my detailed videos if you're confused on how to bleach your wig. Once I had covered the knots with the bleach, I'm just placing some foil underneath to help it process faster and more evenly. And I left this on for about 30-ish minutes. And this is how the knots were looking after 30 minutes. And like I said earlier, it did lift the color, but with the 20 volume developer, I feel like it wasn't strong enough to lift it to the blonde shade I was going for, but this was doable. Once I had rinsed out the bleaching solution with just some regular neutralizing shampoo, I went ahead and used my blue and purple shampoo combination to help tone the knot. Because I said I was trying to give scalp, not Donald Trump's scalp, because y'all see how orange this lace was? To fix that, I just went in with the blue shampoo first, and it's going to really help correct all of that oranginess. I let this sit for about 10 minutes, and make sure you really lather these pigmented shampoos into the knots. After I went ahead and washed out the blue, I went in with the purple shampoo, and this is just going to help tone any yellow color that is left on the lace. I let this sit for another 10 minutes and washed that off. After washing thoroughly both of the shampoos out, I did go ahead and just wash the wig like I would normally with my favorite moisturizing conditioner and shampoo, and let the wig air dry overnight. That our knots have been bleached, we are ready to pluck this hairline. So like I was saying earlier, I already knew I wanted to do a no baby hair, natural hairline kind of look. So for this, I always find that whenever I'm going to go for no baby hair look, I really got to make sure my plucking game is on 10. It can't be too bulky or it's not going to give hairline, because I'm sorry, no one hairline is that thick naturally. So the first thing here I'm doing is I'm going with my hot comb, super hot, and I'm just trying to press back the hairline as much as possible. Pressing back your hairline just really helps you see what you were doing, and plus make sure it helps you pull the knots out properly. For plucking, I am using my Revlon Diamond Series slant tip tweezer. This is my go-to only tweezer that I use. I've tried a lot, and this one works the best for me. If you find that your plucking is kind of not as good as it should be, if you're plucking holes in it or something's just off and you feel like it's not you, try different tweezers and that could be it. I do have lots of detailed plucking tutorials as well, so I'm not going to get too in-depth on my plucking, but when it comes to getting a super natural hairline pluck, what I say is always pluck behind the start of the hairline like I did right here. I pull out the front of my hairline first. This kind of just helps me make sure I'm not over plucking the front, because whenever I over pluck the front, I just get lots of bald spots. And since I wanted a super natural look, I had to make sure I was going more back into the hairline. Like, I'm not focusing my tweezer too much on the front. I have to make sure I'm really plucking the back of that closure. Because even here, what I'm showing you guys on camera, I thought it was plucked enough. And then once I installed the wig, I realized it needed more thinning out. So I had to really take my tweezers and go deeper. Other tips I would give for plucking, the back of the hair was always make sure you're pulling the hair from the root. And when I pluck, I am not plucking in the same place. I pluck a line, skip a line, and I work my way down. After I've thinned out the hair behind the hairline, I push everything back to the front and I just do little tweaks in the front as needed. Here's kind of where I just start to create more gaps to give it a very, hairline-y look. And like I said earlier, I'm honestly not even plucking mainly in the front. If you really pay attention, my tweezers are kind of plucking behind spaces. It looks like it's the front, but I pluck the front sparingly just to avoid having bald spots. I'm really trying to make sure I'm thinning back into the hairline. But my final tip would be less is more. You do not have to get your hairline super plucked to the gods while it's on your mannequin head. You could go ahead and install the wig like I did and see that this hair needs to be a little more thinned out, and I can thin it out more, because once it's on your hair you can see exactly what you need. Now I'm just going ahead and just trying to pluck out the middle part a little bit, because for the wig to lay really flat on my head and give that natural look the way that I like it, I find that when my part is just a little bit more wider, it looks a lot more natural. So I'm just trying my best to pluck in a straight line. I can't pluck in a straight line to save my life, but I tried my best. Here I'm just going in with some styling mousse to help really just help mold and set the hair in a flat middle part the way I want it to be, since I already knew I was going to be doing a middle part. And this kind of just helps save you some time on having to go in with your hot comb later. My key tip here is to make sure you're going in between the sections of hair to make sure you're getting that mousse all over it. And I just make sure I push and press down the hair to be nice and flat. Doing this makes my wigs lay so much more flatter on my head, and I don't have to go through the stress of burning my forehead with my hot comb. Since I did not have all day to wait for this wig to install, because this was the next day, I'm doing a little bit of a hack here. I bought this blow dryer attachment dome cap thing from Amazon. It was like $15. You just attach your regular standard blow dryer, just like I did right here, and I let it dry the hair, and it dried everything up in about 10 minutes. And here we are. As you can see, the hair is nice and set. It's much more flatter than how it was looking, especially out of the box. And here I'm just showing you guys that I did have to go off camera and pluck the hair a little bit more to get it the way I want it, because I did install this wig previously and it wasn't as flat, which is why the lace is already cut. Another major key factor in getting your wigs to lay as flat as possible is your braid pattern. So I braid my own hair, and my wigs are always braided under my wigs. And I even had to go back and re-braid my hair, because if my braids are getting too fuzzy or are not as flat as they need to be, it will definitely show under my wig. It will even show more because I'm doing a middle part. The texture and the bumps of the braids do affect how flat it will lay. So I always say about 8 to 10 cornrows going backwards works just as fine. And I always make sure that my cornrow is not like in the middle of where my middle part usually lays, because then, there's a bump under the parting space. So make sure your braiding is decent enough. It doesn't have to be tiny, tiny micro braids, but they do have to be flat. So here I am just going in with my ebon lace spray, and I'm just spraying this on the edge of the lace, and I'm using my finger to help spread that product around evenly. Then I'm going in with my blow dryer on a cool setting with my rat tail comb to help me just push down that lace and get everything nice and melted. And y'all see that hairline? It's giving. Yeah, I know. She's 100% giving. All that work we just did is definitely paying off. Now I'm using my elastic band. It's just a standard, like literally a wig, not a wig, a sewing elastic band. I got this from Walmart in the sewing section. I like to use this over using a satin headscarf because I feel like it doesn't stick to the glue or the hairspray as much because it's not a glue. I'm just letting this stay on my lace to help everything get nice and set to help prevent some lifting. Now, I know I did say the whole point of using the mousse earlier was to help get it flat and to avoid having to use your hot comb, but I'm still going to use my hot comb because I do the most and I like to achieve for the best. I'm using my hot comb section by section, and I'm just pressing that into my hair to really make sure I'm getting everything nice and flat. I'm also help push everything. I don't have to make my sections as thin, as small and precise as I normally do. I can go like, a little bit more. I can make my sections a bit bigger as I'm pressing it out. But I do have to say, if you're not using a hot comb or the mousse thing I just showed you guys to get your wigs flat, then babies, what are you even doing? Then your wig is not even flat, because you got to get the wig flat from the roots, not just straightening it out will do. I'm also using a little bit of my Care wax stick, and when I say a little bit, I mean a little. I used to go ham with this product and put it in every section as I was pressing down the hair, but I realized it does make the hair greasy, so I just kind of use it more towards the top to help with the, any flyaways that I'm getting, and to just help seal in that pressed lockdown. English is not my best language. Why am I ever, I don't know. If y'all can see, that wax helped add some shine to the hair, and it helped just really make everything nice, flat, and pushed in. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and come back to you guys. Now I can get into the styling portion of the hair, and styling was very simple, honestly. I just went ahead and did my regular flat iron with the bumps at the end. I just love me a good bump. I'm a bump type of girl. I don't like just my hair going straight down, but I did use a little bit of my Cheese Shine Spray Heat Protecting Serum. I'll link that down below, and I'm just using this 1.5-inch Remington flat iron and my little paddle brush to help press out the hair. Now let's talk about cleaning up this hairline to get it to look like it's coming out of your scalp. So I'm using a little bit of this brown eyeliner pencil from like my beauty supply store. And I'm using a brown because the hair is brown. I'm just using this to help just fill in any gaps that might have been caused from me being a terrible straight line plucker or just any over plucking in general, because I really want this to be as professional, neat looking as it can look. I even have this little rat tail comb that I'm using to make sure I'm keeping in a straight line. Here I'm spraying some Got To Be spray over the hair, and I'm just trying to use my comb to help brush down any flyaways and to help just set the hair in a middle part as well. done with this install. Here I'm just using a wet napkin to help wipe off all the excess spray from the lace, because sometimes the excess spray on your skin can cause a bit of a white residue, but it comes off really easy with water. But yeah, that's it. Beautiful, lovely. Like, you can't tell me it's in my real hair, and it's a closure. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. And if you want to help me, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in another one. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Goodbye.